Coach Josh here, Training for Warriors Portland, and I'm giving you another episode of the things I was not doing 5 years ago back when my life was shitty, aka the 30 most important things that I did to turn my life around. And this is a little piece that I've read about time and time again, and it's critical. It's critical to getting into a new position or getting out of your current situation. It's called being vulnerable. And Brene Brown has done a lot of great research on shame and vulnerability, and any one of her books will talk about this to some degree. But it's something that I struggled with my whole life and continue to work on today because it's so powerful. Being the vulnerability is so powerful. And when you're vulnerable, you're honest, you're aware, you're present, and people can help you. And if you have those things in place, you have a lot. And since I struggle with this so much, I'm going to share with you the things that I use to help myself become vulnerable in certain situations. And that always leads to growth. And I'll show you a little diagram I came up with. When I'm in a situation that's challenging, and I know that I want to not just avoid the challenge, but I want to learn the lesson, grow through it, and actually win. Whether it's business or in life, I say things like, "I don't know." Now, I don't know the answer to the question that's being posed by another person in the situation. I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to turn, or I just don't know. So that lets me off the hook of like having to have the answer, and two, it makes me ask more questions that might lead to me finding the answer. And at the same time, I also say I reach in and try to announce my feelings. Like, I feel sad, I feel scared, I feel angry, I feel helpless, I feel pissed off, whatever it is. It's probably not great. It's probably not a great feeling, but maybe it is a good feeling. But saying I feel, it immediately you get out of your head and you get into your body, and you connect with some emotions that you're having, and that slows you down a little bit, which allows you to be more present, and it breaks the cycle that the thought loop cycle that you're on. My favorite, I was wrong. So if I'm in an argument or a fight or in a conflict with somebody, and my course of action is not going to lead to a good outcome, I could see where my assumptions or actions took us in the wrong direction, and I'll say I was wrong. And when you lead off with I was wrong, people, you might think that, oh man, people are going to bite my head off and make fun of me or whatever, but this really softens people. If you say I was wrong, I made a bad decision, and immediately that sort of changes the tone of the conversation, and people are like, oh, well, now that you don't have anything to fight about, they might be on your side again, which is huge. And if you're having a fight with yourself, this is also huge. Because all of these things take humility. And you can only grow if you first are humble enough to want to grow. What's this, I heard a phrase, you can't leave a place you've never been to. So you can't learn the answer to something if you already know the answer. You can't overcome an obstacle if you don't admit there's an obstacle that needs to be overcome. And humility is a precursor to growth. So vulnerability and humility work together to set you up for growth. And I know it sounds weird, but every time I'm in a situation and I say, oh, this makes me feel sad, it completely changes the way I'm interacting with whatever problem or people that I'm in. And when I say I was wrong, that also is a big game changer. And people can connect and resonate with you when you're vulnerable. When you have your armor up, though, you're harder to deal with. So, this is a strategy I use to become vulnerable that takes humility, which allows me to grow. And try these out. I hope one of them or all of them work for you. But I'm going to keep coming at you with my favorite ways to bring out the warrior within.